We've all been there, haven't we? Moments when self-worth shatters and shame creeps in like an unwelcome guest. The pursuit of perfection becomes an unyielding taskmaster, leaving us exhausted and anxious. It's as if society expects us to be flawless, to never stumble or falter. The baggage of our past have made us believe that God is displeased with us. We have tried to reach a goal over and over, and the more we fail, the more we think that we are failures in ourselves, and we abandon our dreams. Our struggles with negative habits and addictions have brought voices of guilt and disappointment. We hold ourselves up to spiritual and financial standards we think that others expect of us. These experiences can cloud our self-judgment and make us question our true worth. Nevertheless, here's the beautiful twist. What if we could set those weights aside? What if we could see ourselves through the eyes of a divine love, one that loves us unconditionally, regardless of our imperfections? Picture this: a love that regards you with pride, as if you were its greatest masterpiece. It cares for you with a tenderness that never wavers, even when you falter. This is the kind of perspective that can transform your life. Have you heard of the young man named Gideon, living in a time when the odds were stacked against him and his people? The Israelites were oppressed by the Midianites, living in constant fear and reduced to hiding their crops in caves. Gideon, an unlikely hero in this story, was busy threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it hidden from their oppressors. It was in this unexpected place and moment that something extraordinary happened. An angel of the Lord appeared before him and called him a mighty man of valor. Gideon didn't see himself that way at all. He saw himself as the least important in his family and from the weakest clan. His self-doubt was as heavy as the circumstances surrounding him, and he wondered why he would be chosen to deliver God's people. The beauty of Gideon's story lies in the fact that even when he couldn't see it, God saw potential and valor in him. It was beyond his physical appearance, his family background, qualifications, achievements, or even what he thought of himself. In his uncertainty, Gideon requested signs from the angel, and each time God confirmed his presence to him. He went on to achieve a remarkable victory. We too are seen through heavenly eyes, even when we doubt ourselves. In a moment when we feel like we are unworthy, we must remember that God sees strength and potential in us. In our journey through life, it's easy to get caught up in the world's judgment and expectations. We often feel the weight of our own imperfections, the guilt of past mistakes, and the crushing pressure of fitting societal molds. However, the beautiful truth is that God doesn't see us that way. He sees us like a man who sees his child. His eyes are pure, not to turn away from our weaknesses, but to see the gold in us and lift us out of our frailty to see that gold. He is not ashamed of our weaknesses. He does not hide from our imperfections. If he did, then he would not have sent Jesus Christ to die for us in our worst state, while we were without strength or a desire of God. He plunged into the messiness of our darkness and sin and saved us into himself. Romans 5 and verse 8 says, But God commended his love toward us in that, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And in that he died for us, he recreated us and made us to be holy, blameless, and irreprovable in his sight. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 22. He would never see us as unworthy. In his love and his kindness, neither will he despise and curse us. It is such a wonderful thing to be seen as worthy and enough by the God of all the universe. We may have been brought down by the tongue of men and constantly reminded of the mistakes we made, but do not think that God is as one of those men. Our failures do not cause him to see us as anything less than the people he bought and redeemed with the sacrifice of his Son. Even when we see nothing good in and of ourselves and feel overwhelmed by the expectations of the world, God's love remains constant. It's not contingent on our success or failures. He is steadfast, and he sees our potential even when we cannot. He doesn't abandon us when we falter. Instead, his love is a beacon of hope, guiding us toward recovery and healing. One of the characteristics of love is its ability to believe the best in people. God, who is love, has faith in us that we will grow out of those guilt, shame, and struggles to be mighty men and women for his kingdom. So, as we navigate the challenges of life, remember that God's love is a constant presence, unwavering and unconditional. His faith in us is a source of strength and hope, even in our weakest moments. We can take comfort in the knowledge that his love transcends all our imperfections, and he continues to see us through the eyes of grace with pride and an unwavering belief in our potential. From heaven's point of view, you are a cherished creation, intricately designed with a purpose only you can fulfill. It doesn't matter what society says or what you've been through. God sees your potential, your inner beauty, and your ability to rise above any circumstance. Think about Gideon. He thought he was the least significant, yet God saw him as a mighty man of valor. In the face of your own self-doubts and the world's expectations, I encourage you to embrace the perspective of heaven. Believe in your worth, even when others may question it. Embrace your uniqueness, knowing that God's purpose for you is profound and magnificent. Let's cast aside the chains of self-doubt, shed the weight of societal judgments, and step into the light of God's love and grace. Look at yourselves through heaven's eyes, and you'll discover a strength and resilience you might not have known you possess. You are cherished, you are valued, and you are destined for greatness. In a world that often emphasizes appearances, societal status, financial wealth, and physical achievements, it's easy to lose sight of our true worth. God's perspective of us is an unshakable foundation for self-esteem. He declares us righteous, holy, beautiful, strong, bold, peaceful, joyful, and even describes us as a royal priesthood. These affirmations are not dependent on our outward appearances or the fleeting standards of the world. They are intrinsic to our identity as children of God. When we anchor our self-esteem in these divine truths, we discover a profound sense of security and contentment. We no longer need to chase after society's ever-changing ideals. We can find joy and confidence in our true identity as God's beloved. It's a shift from the temporary to the eternal, from the material to the spiritual. As we internalize these truths, we become resilient to the world's judgment and comparisons. Our self-esteem is no longer contingent on what we have or how we look, but on who we are in God's eyes. So, let's embrace these affirmations and let them shape our self-esteem. You are righteous, holy, beautiful, strong, bold, peaceful, joyful, and part of a royal priesthood. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, exactly as God intended. Walk in the confidence of God's love and view yourself through the lens of heaven, and watch your life transform into a beautiful testament to His grace and power. Amen.